Yo boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing the good old fast DH, and we found this LFG Shaman. It's pretty late, it's like 12 o'clock, and we pretty much I think went, um what did we go? I think we went 8-4 or something like that. Pretty solid games. I don't know if it was this queue that we went 8-4 or some other queue, I don't remember. It was pretty good games, even though the queues weren't even that good. Like the comps that we were facing were like comps like this, which we should never beat. Comps like these are just insanely difficult and cringe that they're even like the meta right now. But it is what it is. So, that's pretty much that. Pretty much your main targets are going to be the Lock and the Druid. The SP's really never able to die in this comp. It's not going to happen. Lock and Druid are hard enough to kill with this comp, but usually Druids can, if you have good swaps, you can kill a Druid. But, it all just depends, to be honest. Affylocks are just really insane right now, especially a good Affylock that gets triple bleeds and stuff like that. But thankfully, we were just on them, and that's pretty much all you gotta do to kill them. Just sit on top of them, never let them cast, and even though we're sitting on top of him, he's still doing our damage. So the SP's been free casting the entire time, and he still can't figure it out. Meanwhile, we're absolutely farming the good old fashioned Warlock, which is what we like to see. I've noticed that there's been so little people playing lately that it's actually insane. I'm struggling to cap some of my ults. Like it's getting hard to play with people. Once you get to like 1850 or 1900, it just feels like you either have to go with people that are literally just like insanely bad, or you can't go for a specific comp that you want to play. You just have to play whatever you get. Like there's literally so little people playing that it wouldn't, like, you have to wait hours on end just to get the comp that you want, and just for that one person to leave in one game because they lost a singular game. So, good old fashioned. Here I use my essence break. Unfortunately, I got rooted, so I didn't even get my blade dance off. I shouldn't even use, I should have just saved a fry beam and used it then, but I figured I would have been able to just do damage. I didn't think he'd actually root me on my essence break. Whatever. As you can see, we're doing pretty good damage, to be honest. Here I see the SP is just sitting in the back. Look at them just sitting on top of him behind a pillar. This is Their comp is literally just supposed to sit out in mid and kill everything. That's it. They never have to push in, never have to do anything. All they have to do is pure damage and sit out in the open. Our job is to push in and win before dampening. And dampening, we lose. But thankfully, our comp it's better than lock DH, because locks are kind of just, if you're a really good Destro and you know how to get precog, then it's really good. But we have yet to find a lock that's just been able to like cast bolts. The only way you win with a lock, a Destro lock, is if he knows how to get precog and he knows how to do his goes. So double coils and a fear on the healer into like fake cast into a bolt, or baiting their kicks into bolts. Or if you're not able to bolt, you're just spamming your instant cast nonstop. But mainly, we have yet to find a Warlock that's literally just done negative damage the entire game, and it's literally just been a carry. So I kind of just look for Ellies and kind of Evokers. Evokers are good, but they're not as good as an Ellie. It's very rare that we've only found 2 Ellies since we started queuing, and every time we queued, we've gained a lot of rating. I think we ended off at around 2200 at like 2350. I think we went all the way up to like 2380 MMR, and it's pretty good, pretty good games. But this is pretty much the arena right now. It's kind of just meh. It's just slow dampening games that are kind of just boring, but it is what it is. I mean, this doesn't really look fun to anybody. There's zero setup involved. There's literally just PV, the closest target, and that's pretty much that. But you think this guy would die, but he got swap off, unfortunately. I'm really bad with my cat. I think this is our second game played or something. Cause I'm just like throwing out kid. Maybe I'm just too lazy to actually like just wait for what it is. Here I get the stun. Just trying to see what happens. I'm pretty sure the druid dies. We'll see though. Like, the Druid's pretty much at this point, so at this point we can kind of just kill anything, either the Warlock or the Druid. Usually you want to kill the Druid, because if he gets a drink, it's over, but I think the Lock should have died here, but somehow he was able to recover, even though the guy's literally 5% mana. Good old Vash. So here we just swap Druid. Again, these guys are literally immortal. So we're trying to push this guy. I'm sitting at root, Vorch, trying to push in on this Druid. So we just go Priest for a second. You think he would die, but nope, he has Disperse. He's trying to drink, as you can see over there, which is really bad. Thankfully, my guy roots him. That's how you're supposed to do it. All my my shaman has to do is root him or earthquake him whenever he's trying to eat or drink, and he'll never be able to drink. And at this point, the game's over, and we get a good old-fashioned W. But yeah, I've literally just been, I haven't queued a single solo shuffle this entire season. Because I literally still haven't, I've only gotten one best in slot character, and that's my DH. And I don't even feel like queuing solo shuffle. Like, I don't really want to sit in a 30-minute queue for nothing, pretty much. So I've just been queuing 3s and 2s and Cataclysm. I've just been gearing on him. And that's pretty much that. Until the next expansion. I'm going to try to, we're going to get Gladiator, and we're going to try to hit rank 1 in solo shuffle. Because once inflation comes out, I'll probably queue before inflation, I'll probably queue soon. I just, like, I don't know. Solo shuffle just doesn't interest me anymore. It's so boring. Like, once your MMR equals out, you literally can't gain rating. So, like, unless you start off really good, you literally just cannot get rating. Like, you can get 2400, but, like, I don't care about 2400. Like, obviously, I care about 2400 for my alts that haven't been 2400. But I'm trying to hit rank 1, but this guy actually tries to double clone me. Of course he does. So, again, anytime you face a Wrestle Druid, the one way you beat a Wrestle Druid is by going the Druid. And here I see my guy's having trouble, so I'm probably going to dark him, or I'm going to save it because he's kind of running. We'll see. Yeah, no. So I hold darkness because I'm like, okay, my guy's running. He's going to, if he stands still, he's just going to die through darkness. So there's no point of darking him. I'm going to probably evasion or blur here because they're starting to do unhealable damage. He Iron Bark's pretty much air. Nothing's really happening right now. And as you can see, yeah, Druid swaps are the best thing that you can do. Mainly because, obviously, Druids, the only way a Druid's going to lose is if, obviously, you know, you go the Druid. It's very rare that you kill somebody without the Druid dying first. You have to kill Druids, or you have to them completely before a Druid team can die, especially in 3s. Unless you're an Evoker. That's where Evoker comes really good. Evokers will immediately beat Wrestle Druids. That's like the highest counter that's possible. On my Wrestle Druid, when I was 2470 in solo shuffle, I could not beat a Wrestle Druid. It wasn't possible. It was such an unfair matchup. It literally, I just AFK'd out and I never played Wrestle Druid again. I haven't even logged in that singular Druid in like 3 weeks after that game. I was so done with the game. I was so tired of playing a worse class than everything else. You just have to play what's meta, and that's just a fact. And it doesn't matter what expansion you're playing, there's always classes that are just god tier, and if you're not playing them, you're gonna get smacked. It doesn't matter how good you play. Obviously, there's situations where bad players, there's outplays that you can do, but in retail there's no such thing as outplay. Setup comps are dead. All that there is PvE to win, and that's pretty much it. That's why this game's really bad and boring. Any comp that's based off PvE is just, to me, is boring. I don't like PvE comps. I like doing setups and outplaying a healer, and not just a healer being able to heal all the DPS 24/7, and people having 9 different CDs and variations to swap through. Here we pretty much just kill the Druid. He almost lives, but I make sure I sit on top of him so he can't cast, and he ended up getting taken out. Thankfully. But yeah, that's pretty much the plan. Will's making a warrior, so he's already level like 81, 82. He's gonna get honor gear. We're gonna get gear, and then we're gonna try H-Pow warrior, because Druid, just non-MS classes, or just I watched Bajira, whatever you want to call him. He literally was just smacking people in the face as his warrior. It didn't even look like it was like an entire different game, because they couldn't heal through the damage. Like, because his MS was so strong, because classes without MS and 2s just suck. Like, you can't kill anything. Everything's immortal. But when you do have MS, it's so strong that after they're burst healing, they're pretty much just dead. Like, you're just able to sit on them and kill them. That's pretty much what I was watching. And when we were playing Druid H-File or facing Disc, Will was like, yo, if you make a priest, we can play Druid Disc. Why would we want to go through that? Play a comp that's literally just completely, that's just going to be super damp. Like, especially damp, like, as in, it's not even a damp comp, it's literally just 20-minute games. Like, that's just, yeah, I can't do it. Like, I couldn't imagine facing, like, Gladiator players. The games would never end. Like, it's ridiculous. But I kind of had a feeling. That was a terrible stun, by the way, but of course my in-cap breaks, too. I actually stun him before he can use his AoE group. I don't even know if he has it, but whatever. Good thing I can just kind of PvE and we good to go. See, this is the damage that we need to be having. If this shaman had this damage all the time, because at first he wasn't doing this damage, he was actually doing pretty garbage damage, but then all of a sudden he started doing unhealable damage, like what he's doing now, and we started winning every game pretty much. So like just a semi-good shaman, and you'll win games with this comp. I'd say this is probably the best variation. You can maybe go with an evoker healer with this comp, but I think I don't know. I think I like Rusted with this because it's more dampener. It's not necessarily a huge dampener comp, but it's more dampened than like everything else. Just due to the fact that it's overall healing and its capabilities of drinking, it is pretty insane. But you know, who knows? I think Evoker might be just as good or better just because of the amount of healing you're getting. I play my Evoker and I can literally do 250 KD or healing non-stop, and for some reason I don't know why all of a sudden people were doing like 250k damage non-stop or 200k damage. I don't know if classes were buffed and I just don't know about it, but it's ridiculous. I've been trying to heal like 200k from 2 DPS at the same time, so that's 400k DPS every second. And I'm like, bro, what is this damage? Like, I don't know if this is normal. Like, this should not be normal. Like, see, when in threes, they don't do that much damage. But for some reason, when I heal players, I swear to God, they're doing that much damage. Like, I wish I recorded the Evoker games and like you don't understand. I'm not even exaggerating when I say 200k minimum and 250k DPS non-stop all the time. And I don't know how it's even possible for me to heal it, but since I'm playing Evoker, I'm actually able to heal it for a while, for actually a good amount of time. But it's like, I don't know how healers are supposed to heal this damage. Like, on top of giving everybody 9 different variations of CDs, it's like, you know, there's a difference between burst damage. If they were doing that on their burst damage, it's okay, but when they're doing it 24/7, classes should have burst damage, and then they should be doing 0 damage after their burst. That way you have to use your burst good, and then healers and DPS should only have 1 wall and 1 trinket. You should not be able to use any wall and stuns. You should not be able to use, no walls and stuns, no ports and stuns. You should have your trinket and 1 wall. You should have 1 cease variation, whether it's your stun and a fear. So pretty much, instead of giving people 3 variations of CDs, you give them 1 main CD, and then the healer has good healing, but if he's CC'd, he can use nothing. There's no, using stuff in the stun. Sure, PS is fine, stuff like that, but, everything else is off limits. So you should get your trinket. After your trinket, it's GG's. If you get CC'd, the game's over. DPS should not be able to be healing as much as a healer, or even being able to survive. When their healer CC'd, if they wall and you have 2 DPS full bursting on you and you don't use CDs, like if you don't have trinket, you should die 100-0 immediately in about 3 seconds. Like if you have 2 DPS. Now if it's 1, it's a little bit different, but it should be pretty much like Shadowlands PvP. Shadowlands Season 1 said, even though the one-shots were aids, if they just tuned down the one-shotting a little bit, it would be perfect. That's exactly how it should be. Everyone didn't have 900 different CDs. When you click burst, people died. That's how it should have been. That was great. That was fun. But, of course, now, for some reason, they just decide to put on damp comps every single time. I don't understand it, and I don't know how anybody enjoys it. Like playing Demon versus Locks and Dema Locks and Mages and Affilocks and SPs. Like, I don't understand how you guys can just sit there and play it. I can't stand it. I hate I hate dampener comps. I hate being in an arena for 10 minutes just to get 5 or 10 rating, and then lose 9 of that rating just to have to sit there and do another 10-minute game. But these games were actually pretty solid. Obviously, they're kind of annoying. I didn't post the ones that we lost because we only lost a few, but all the ones that we lost, surprisingly, we lost the first game we played to a Ret Warrior or a Ret DK or something, or I think it was a Warrior DK, and then we lost the other 3 to dampener comps like Demalock, Frost Mage, Wrestler Druid, or H-Pal. Because after 2200, that's all people play. Nobody plays melee comps. Like, it's either you get a bunch of melee comps or you get a bunch of dampener comps. There's no in between. And if you get dampener comps as a non-dampener, it's not fun. It's not. So, like, here, this should be a pretty easy win for us, to be honest. Mainly because this guy's going to be fist weaving, and all of them on top of each other is really good for us. So you'll see that they're all stacking, and for me, that's the best thing. That's the best case scenario. Here he's going to go Hodge my healer, so I'm going to go and reverse it immediately. Because anytime a Ret runs at your healer, it means or anytime a Paladin in general runs at your healer or starts going towards your healer, that's when you want to run for reverse. So the moment you know a person's going to use something that it's like, oh, I can reverse Hodge, I can reverse Blind, I can reverse Rep. Anytime a H-Power or anything like that, or a Paladin, or anything that you can reverse is starting to run after your healer, it means you need to start going towards him. And here I tell him I darked, but he kind of ringed a piece it, or whatever it's called, Rop. So at this point, Dark was kind of useless, which kind of sucks. That's like the counter to Darkness is... And Revival is so stupid. I hate Revival, but thankfully I think we just end up taking him out right here. Like here in a couple seconds. After this is over, this guy's pretty much toast ovened. He has Bubble, but I didn't think he realized how much pressure we can do. We have a lot of burst. Whenever my Shaman gets off his burst and I start using my damage, we have a lot of potential of damage. Like here I'm doing a lot of damage when they're all 3 stacked. So I double stun. It was kind of DR'd on the red, so it's kind of bad, but whatevs. It stunned the warrior, so it's... And here we just literally 40-0 in like 2 seconds. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.